fight choreography has nothing to do with fighting. Of course, there's like techniques and inspirations that we draw from different fight disciplines. But like dance, it's like a sequence of movement that's connected together, and it's create the illusion of causing harm, causing violence, creating damage in some sort of way. You're basically creating magic on stage for the audience to watch, and that's always who it's for. Inherently, we move without realizing how we're moving, right? So I just take for granted how I walk. But when I actually start to become conscientious of how I walk, I realize that, oh, I actually like lean a little bit more to my right than I'd like to. And can I correct that? Can I be more in my center? Oh, I actually can if I think about it. So I think the neat thing is assessing how people naturally move. And then when we get into character work is how can we use that natural movement so that it doesn't feel alien when they're trying to build this person that they're going to play for, well, months on end when we're in a place like Stratford. Reading the script is one of the first things that I do because it has all the information that I need. And on top of that, meeting with the director because their vision ultimately is the blanket for the show. For Wendy and Peter, I'll start with that because it's the largest. Thomas Morgan-Jones and I had meetings very early on, which I really appreciated because there are so many fight sequences. The sooner you prep, the more your future self is grateful for that. In that particular show, in Wendy and Peter, we have the Lost Boys who are fighting Kali, K-A-L-I, and that's a Filipino martial art. Kali also includes stick and blade or two sticks, sometimes hand to hand, but in particular they have some bamboo sticks, Kali sticks. Tiger Lily, we just wanted Tiger Lily to have an assortment of blades because we figured Tiger Lily's probably the most well-versed in fight. Tiger Lily has 2 daggers. They also have a large javelin that we've used, so it's lightweight, but it's meant to be some sort of staff. And in the script, it was said that they would have some sort of bow and arrow. We just thought they have so many other things and only 2 hands. Well, why don't we supply them with a crossbow that's actually configured or fixed to their forearm? And the pirates had to stay classic with the cutlasses. And the neat thing about Captain Hook, props department, so lovely. They actually made a specific blade for Laura Conlon, who plays Captain Hook. It meant to have a bit of like a curvature so that it matched the curve of the hook on her left hand. Because it's built from imagination, it doesn't kind of live in any specific world, but how we play with it is very similar to how the pirates work, which was we were inspired by Polish saber fighting actually for that, because there's a lot of circular motions and a lot of forward attacks. And then Peter, we have classic rapier style with Peter. So there's a lightness, kind of typical rapier sword play with a lot of flourishy gusto and lightness to it. Sam White, who directed Romeo and Juliet, really gave me so much agency in terms of the fights. And I mean that from the get-go. She cut the script to make room for these fights because she felt that, narratively speaking, they really are the force behind driving the story forward. With the help of props department again, of course, as always, we pulled rapiers and daggers for the first brawl, the classic I bite my thumb at you, sir. But when we got into Mercutio and Tybalt fighting, they are coming at each other with such speed and performed aggression that it feels more like a hand-to-hand combat with blades. And then that continues on into the fight between Tybalt and Romeo, where the blades actually go and now it's just daggers. So again, a shorter blade, meaning that they have to be in closer proximity to one another. And then as soon as those blades go, we disarm them. Now they are actually in fisticuff land. So for R&J, I feel like the fights are really narratively specific and, yeah, again, a driving force behind the story. What is my favorite thing about what I do? I think the first thing would be that it never gets old to me how confidence is created. Or I should say even further to that, how confidence is found. Because I believe that everything you need is already inside of you. So I think one of my favorite things that I'm never gonna get sick of is watching somebody progress and decide the moment that they've decided, oh, I'm good at this. That just, it makes me feel so great inside because it's like, oh, you know you can, right? And you can have people tell you can, but until you decide and you know, it's just not the same. And then on top of that, probably demystifying that fight and intimacy, although we are creating the illusions of, technically speaking, they have nothing to do with actually fighting or actually being intimate. And it's more about communication than anything. And even further to that, more about being honest with yourself about what you need and voicing that. Yeah, I would say in tandem, it's those two things. It's confidence and demystifying what the expectation of something is before you actually know.